This is the AB4WS radio show. Every week, bringing you the exciting amateur radio news and information happening in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana areas.
The AB4WS radio show can be found on the Apple Podcast app or your favorite podcast application. And now also available on the AB4WS radio show YouTube channel. A few weeks ago, it was announced that the end of Ham Clock in June of 2026 due to the passing of its creator. Since that time, a number of replacements have been created, leaving operators a number of options and a great selection of features. First is the Open Ham Clock, which offers extensive customization and configuration. The next is Ham Tab, which is a web-based to allow you to run on all the operating systems and includes a theme similar to the original Ham Clock. The third is Ham Vision, which is still under heavy development, and the latest information and updates are shared on their Facebook page. Another browser-based option is Ham Clock Me Online, and yet another browser-based version is DX Look. Several of the open-source Ham Clock replacement options are available via GitHub, including Ham Clock Backend, which is the closest to the original Ham Clock. K4DRW Ham Clock Next is another option which is still under development. Keeping Ham Clock alive is the work of W4BAE, who has compiled and detailed guide which provides a back-end override to point to an alternative server. For those wanting a near-identical experience to the original Ham Clock, Bruce's W4BAE's method is highly recommended, along with Open Ham Clock Backend. Have fun and Ham Clock on. With the onset of the usual spring weather, it is important for all amateurs to be weather aware, and a nice addition to help keep up on the weather happenings when things get dicey is the Kentucky Severe Storm Weather Net, held on XLX 721 Alpha multi-mode communications network. Because of this increased weather history, the monthly scheduled net, held the first Monday of each month at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, will now become a weekly net for the next few months. This gives you a chance to check in and make sure your equipment is working so that when a storm hits, you are ready. There are multiple ways to connect to this multi-mode communications network. If you have one of the M1KE devices, just connect to XLX 721 Alpha. For DMR, connect your hotspot or connect to the repeater to Brandmeister Talk Group 3121232. For C4 FM radios, connect your hotspot to YSF Reflector 51149. There are two ways to connect to the network to D-Star. Either connect to DCS 721 Alpha or connect to REF 056 Alpha. For Echolink connection to KY4RW-L. This allows everyone to communicate with each other regardless of the mode you are using, and you can hear everyone regardless of the mode they are on. This is really a neat system and is up 24/7 with the exception of Echolink, which is only active for the nets. So check it out anytime. Thanks to Ray, KY4RW, and Larry, NN4H, for this neat system. The Dixie Heights High School Amateur Radio Club, KY4DH, has submitted their results from the February ARRL School Club Roundup, and Sherry, KJ4MOB, and the kids at Dixie did another bang-up job. 10 students participated in the event, making 605 phone contacts, working 46 states, 5 Canadian provinces, 12 DX stations, 8 clubs, and 33 schools for a total score of 147,620 points. Great job! The ARRL Student Coding Competition is live until March 31st, and it's your golden ticket to hack, build, and shine. The challenge is to design a mobile app that could one day join the ARRL's toolkit. Think contact logging wizard, real-time propagation visualizers, or my personal favorite, a gamified phonetic alphabet tutor for those QSO hesitant newbies. For more information, go to ARRL.org/student-coding-competition. Congratulations to Jenny Taylor, NAQKE, the winner of the ARRL Handbook from the Great Lakes Division Radio Waves monthly giveaway. Word has come that George Heidelman, K8RRH, has become a silent key. Our thoughts and prayers to his family and friends. Well, it's almost spring, and you know what that means. The Flying Pig is coming to town May 1st through the 3rd, and Steve, NATFD, is looking for some amateur radio volunteers to assist with the race administration and communications. If you can help out, reach out to Steve at natfd@fuse.net. This year, in celebration of the 250th anniversary of the country, the ARRL has kicked off America 250, Worked All States operating event. Each state will have 2 weeks of using W1AW call with their call sign district. This week, there will be no activations from March 4th to the 11th, but March 11th through the 17th will be Virginia W1AW/4 and Guam W1AW/KH2. For more information on this event, go to ARRL.org/America250-WAS. The Dayton Hamvention is just around the corner, May 15th through the 17th, and the Toledo Mobile Radio Association is getting ready to make the trip easier on you from Toledo, Ohio. They'll be getting a bus that will leave at 727 Lime City Road in Rossford, Ohio at 5:30 a.m. on May 16th, and it'll travel to the Hamvention and return that evening. For more information and to register your seat on the bus, go to w8rp.org/DaytonBus2026. On March 14th at 1 p.m., the Brunch Bunch will be meeting at Sugar and Spice, 4381 Reading Road in Cincinnati, Ohio. Join them for brunch and ham radio. On March 16th at 7 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will meet at 7 p.m. at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky, and everyone is invited to hear the exciting program. On March 21st at 9 a.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club invites anyone interested in amateur radio to come out and meet them for breakfast at the Golden Corral, 4770 Houston Road in Florence, Kentucky. The Kentucky Summits on the Air Soda Group is hosting the 4th annual Kentucky Campout on the weekend of March 28, 2026 at the Kingdom Come State Park in Cumberland, Kentucky. They will host a pancake breakfast at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday morning at the Upper Pavilion in the main camping area. Make sure you make your campground reservations by calling Sherry at 606-589-4138 or email sherry.cornett@ky.gov. And also make sure you email Michael, N4DCW, the Kentucky Soda Association Manager at michael@n4dcw.com to RSVP for the attendee roster. Also, up-to-date information can be found on reflector.soda.org.uk/T/2026-Soda-Campout/39146. On Thursday, April 23rd at 6 p.m., there'll be a National Weather Service Weather Spotter Training Class at the Grove of Springfield Township, 9150 Winton Road in Cincinnati, Ohio, behind the fire station. Registration opens at 5:30 p.m.
Repeater news.
Are you looking for the most up-to-date list of repeaters in the greater Cincinnati area? Well, I have an Excel spreadsheet where I've listed repeaters that are active in the area, separated by tabs for each band or mode, so you can easily look for just DMR repeaters or 2-meter analog repeaters and so on. The list includes 2 meters, 220, 440, 6 meters, D-Star, DMR, C4FM, P25, and some other classifications. Every time I update the file, I include the date and the file name so that you know you have the latest update. To download the file, go to the AB4WS Radio Show Facebook page and go to the file section and download the file. If you're not on Facebook, email me at ab4ws.radio@gmail.com and I can email you the latest file. If you see any errors, problems, additions, or corrections, email that information to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com. The Louisville, Kentucky 224.180 repeater, along with the 442.5 repeater, is being moved to a new location in Edwardsville. The 442.5 repeater will be linked with the 147.460 N4TNS repeater. This may take a few weeks to accomplish depending on the weather, so stay tuned for them being back on the air.
Hamfest.
March 7th is the Cave City Ham Fest, 502 Mammoth Cave Street in Cave City, Kentucky. Talk in on the 146.94 repeater with a PL tone of 114.8. March 8th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is the Northern Ohio Amateur Radio Society Winter Ham Fest at the Lorain County Community College Center Commons area, 1005 North Abbey Road in Elyria, Ohio. For more information, go to noars.net/hamfest/winter-hamfest. March 15th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the Toledo Mobile Radio Association Ham Fest at the Owens County Community College Student Health and Activity Center, 7315 Championship Drive in Perrysburg, Ohio. For more information, go to w8hhf.org/hamfest. April 11th is the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Club 70th Hamfest at the Media Open Sons Expo Center, 48 East Bath Street in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. For more information, go to cfarc-hamfest.org. April 26th is the Tusco Amateur Radio Club 2026 Hamfest Computer and Electronics Show at the Tuscarawas County Fairgrounds, 259 South Tuscarawas Avenue in Dover, Ohio. For more information, go to w8zx.net/Hamfest. April 26th is the Athens, Ohio Hamfest at the Athens Community Center, 701 East State Street in Athens, Ohio. For more information, go to ac-ara.org. May 2nd is the Lucas County Amateur Radio Emergency Service Hamfest from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Merchants Landing Bingo Hall, 6182 Summit Street in Toledo, Ohio. The granddaddy of all Hamfests, the Dayton Hamvention, will be held May 15th, 16th, and 17th at the Greene County Fair and Expo Center, 210 Fairground Road in Xenia, Ohio. For more information, go to hamvention.org.
Are you looking to upgrade your license? Do you have someone else that's interested in the hobby? Here are some upcoming exam opportunities.
The Milford Amateur Radio Club holds amateur radio testing on the third Thursday of each month at 6 p.m. at the Miami Township Civic Center, 6101 Meyer Drive in Milford, Ohio. Please pre-register at milfordhamradio.org. The Dayton Amateur Radio Association has exams frequently. For their exam schedule, email exams.w8bi@gmail.com. March 7th, there'll be a testing session at the Cave City Hamfest, 502 Mammoth Cave Street in Cave City, Kentucky at 9 a.m. Central Time. For more information, email Chappie, KD4SS at KD4SS@ARRL.net. On March 8th, the Cuyahoga Falls Amateur Radio Society will host an amateur radio testing session at 9:15 a.m. at the Old Elmwood Recreation Center, 6200 Wisniewski Parkway in Independence, Ohio. For more information, call 216-560-1320 or email metro351@sbcglobal.net. On March 16th at 5:30 p.m., the Northern Kentucky Amateur Radio Club will hold an amateur radio exam session at the Bethesda Community Church, 989 East Mount Zion Road in Independence, Kentucky. You must register by going to hamstudy.org/session/NKY-VE. Special thanks to this week's content contributors: AB4FS, KY4ROD, AC4HI, KD9EYU, WB8VNH, KY4GW, WB8YYS, KD8ZLD, K9HIO, N8LAR, K4NKU.
If you have something you think other amateur radio operators in the area would be interested in, send the information or your recorded audio file attached in an email to ab4ws.radio@gmail.com.
Covering your amateur radio news and information in the greater Cincinnati, Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana tri-state area. This is Jack Prindle, AB4WS, normally in Big Bone, Kentucky, but this week coming to you from Port Charlotte, Florida.